Oh my God, yeah.
Oh God, I think
a lot. Stay still. Yeah, I thought a lot of things were melting yesterday.
Cameras in the back ready? Wow, my voice is very loud.
My voice will be that loud too.
Looking forward to it. Okay, everyone, welcome into the Thornberry Creek LPGA Classic Media Center. It's my pleasure to welcome in Lydia Ko, 15-time LPGA winner, 2-time major champion. Lydia, welcome.
Thank you. Is this on? Yeah.
Lydia, we're more than halfway through the season. You've already got a win under your belt. How do you gauge your season so far?
Yeah, I think it's either been really high or really low. So I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent, but definitely winning in San Francisco gave me a lot of confidence, and I was able to have another top 10 the week after, and I had a couple of top 10s in this stretch. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to finish the stretch of events, with a solid week here this week. But no, I think no matter how well you're playing, you always feel like there's many aspects in your game that you can improve on. And I've got 2 weeks off after this, so hopefully now I'll be able to get some time to relax and also work on my game before the next couple events and our next major.
You mentioned you've had 4 top 20 finishes since you won at Lake Merced. What did that win do for your confidence?
I felt like the puzzle pieces were there, but I just couldn't put it together. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, just to be able to glue all those things together. And I felt like I was able to do that in San Francisco. And I think the big key for me that week was a couple of my friends came, so I really wasn't worrying about the golf. And I was just there to have a good time, and I love San Francisco. So yeah, I think my mind was less. It's almost a bad thing to say you're less focused on the golf, but at the same time, I think it just made me not worry about it that much, and I think that just gave me the confidence to say, hey, there are a lot of good things going on, so you're moving in the right direction.
We're through 3 majors already this season. We've got 2 left. One where you've won before, the Evian Championship. How do you assess your play in majors so far?
I had one really, really good round last week, and then the last 3 were not so good. But it's I love playing the British Open. It's definitely playing on those links golf courses is definitely different to playing any other golf course. And sometimes you need to have another 15th club, which is handling the wind and being safe at places and being a bit more aggressive. So links play golf I think is a bit different, but I love playing that, and it's just a lot of fun. Being able to hit different shots, and Evian always draws a lot of great memories with my first major win. So yeah, I know it's exciting times, and I guess whatever tournament you go to, you want to play your best. And to me, I think the big focus is to not get too caught up on thinking it's a major championship, and just go out there, play my game, and not worry about trying to peak at that event.
So we're in Green Bay now. You weren't able to play this event last year. What did some of your fellow players tell you about the inaugural Thornberry Creek LPGA Classic?
Yeah, I think obviously Kat has a lot of great things and great memories, and I think she won at like 22 under par. So that itself just says that there's quite a few birdies out there, and I heard that a few of the players said it's not as firm as last year. So I think maybe with the rain we had a couple days ago, so I'm pretty sure with a good forecast it will dry out and play a little bit differently to what I played today. But it's a really nice golf course. It's really beautiful, and it's not driver off every single tee, but you kind of have to play smart. And because in the past the scores have been quite low, you do have to be a little bit more aggressive and try and get those birdies.
You had a chance to play 18 holes this morning. What were your initial thoughts, and are you comfortable playing a style that's kind of a birdie fest like you mentioned?
I gotta pray that my putter is hot. Yeah, no, it's when you're going out there knowing that there are birdies, it actually makes it fun because not every golf course is like that, and especially coming off a major championship, it's definitely a different type of course management. But the course is really nice. It's in really good shape, and with the sun baking out a little bit, I'm sure the greens are gonna get even more firmer and faster, but the course itself is really beautiful.
Have you been to Green Bay before? And will we see you in any Packers gear maybe this week?
I have never been here before, I didn't really know too much about American football. Yeah, so who knows? I mean, if I play great, you might see me in the green.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone around. First one right there.
Lydia, how much desire do you have to get back to number one, especially after winning earlier this year?
There are so many players playing well, at the top of the leaderboard, and just players from all different countries. So I think now it's actually harder to win, I guess. Which means it's obviously harder to become world number one. But all I can do is really focus on my game and be more consistent. And I know that the more times I put myself in contention, and the more times I'm in the top 10, or I'm the one holding a trophy, the rankings kind of sort itself out. So I honestly do not know what my world ranking is right now. So 14, there you go. Yeah, I mean, so I think that's the rankings isn't something that I'm mainly focusing on, and I'm more focusing on the areas of my game to improve, and if those improve, the scores will improve, and then the rankings improve. So I've been really not worrying about the rankings and just going out there and playing my game.
We'll go right here.
Lydia, so much has been said about your changes in coaches and your changes in caddies. Has it ever gotten frustrating for you for all that people talking about those things and not focusing on just your golf? And if so, if it was frustrating, did you ever lose the fun or the passion you had for playing golf over last year?
I don't think because of what other people said that affected, how much I loved or, don't love the game. I can't make every single person like me. I can't make every single person agree with me. But at the end of the day, I feel like I made the right decisions. And even though I made more changes at the start of this year going into this season, I felt like I was making it going in the right steps. So all I can do is do my best at that moment and what I think is the right decision there. So, I have no regrets in that, and I feel like I've got a solid team around me, and, everybody makes changes or, do things differently just because they want to get better, and, everybody's working towards it getting better. So that's what I felt like I needed to do at those times.
I think we have a question right here.
Ow.
Hey. This is your 6th event of your 6-in-a-row stretch. So what has that been like for you? You talked about that being the longest stretch of events in your career that you've played consecutively. So how does it feel now?
I think I've got like a gray hair. I just or as Steve says, it's platinum. Yeah. But no, it's definitely been the longest stretch since I've been on tour. I haven't done more than 4 in a row. So I was wondering what it was going to be like on the 5th week, and I think I just survived. So I'm hoping to just survive again this week, and have a good few days off after this week. But I think more so when you get in tournament mode, you really don't know what week you're on, and you're just out there playing that hole, playing that shot. So, even last week, when I was playing, your whole focus is really out there playing, so you don't really worry about, how tired you are physically. But I think when these stretch of events are going to be over, I'm definitely going to be feeling it. And, I didn't leave my bed until going out to dinner yesterday, so that kind of shows, what I was kind of in the groove of. But yeah, no, it's been fun, and all these stretch of events have been great. A few of my really favorite events, obviously with the two majors, and I love going back to Meyer and in Arkansas. So it's hard to pick and choose at times because you really want to play them all, but you do have to think about the energy levels too.
What led you to make that decision this year and play 6 instead of capping it at your usual 4 in a row?
Well, I had my 1 and 4 that I had to play, and just obviously you're super excited about the majors, and the middle events. Like I said, they're events that I love going back to. Like in Arkansas, I played with the same pro-am group for the last 4 years, so they're faces that I love going back to see. It's just it's obviously you've got so many great events. Ending with marathon next week is just really hard to choose which ones you want to play, and sometimes travels and logistics, all that kind of come into play too, and it's really nice to just be able to drive from last week to come here to this week too.
Question right here.
You've accomplished so much already at such a young age. Do you ever feel like people forget that you're only 21 years old, and do you still feel young out here, or do you start to feel like a veteran now?
I'm just kind of in that dodgy area where I'm not a veteran, but I'm not a rookie. It's that 5-year where you're your foot is half in but half out. Yeah. So it's people are like, hey, how old are you now? And I'm like, oh, I'm 21. They're like, what? Well, how are you still 21? So at times I feel a lot older than I am, but then at times I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I do feel like a 21-year-old. My mom probably thinks I'm 15 with the way I act around the house, but it's. I think age is really just a number out here. I mean, there are girls that have been on tour longer than I've lived, and there are girls like this year. I know that's kind of sad, guys. Sorry, there's rookies this year can be the youngest of being born in the 2000, and that's crazy. But I think experience is a different thing to actually how old you are.
Any other questions? Right. Oh, yeah.
How different does your mindset change when you go from a major to a regular tour event? Your approach to the tournament and what you have to do?
I think more changes. Your course management changes depending on the type of golf course and how you need to play that golf course, rather than it being a major or just another event on our calendar. And even last week, obviously, it was really tough stretch of holes, coming in 16, 17, 18. And it looked like here it wasn't the easiest finishing holes either. So, I think it doesn't really matter about, hey, it's a major or not. It's more how that course plays. And obviously, with this one last year, with the scores being so low and with the girls playing so great, and a pretty strong field this week, I'm pretty sure the scores are going to be low, so you kind of have to think about trying to make as many birdies as you can, but also not make careless mistakes out there too.
There's been 18 tournaments this year and 16 different winners. Just in the time you've been on the tour, how much harder has it gotten to win out here?
I think it's gotten a lot harder to win, and even last year I came second 3 times or something, and I felt like I was playing good golf, but every time I played solid, somebody played better, and I think that's the thing with golf, that all you can do is try your best, and if somebody plays better than you, you can't do anything about it, and you have to be proud about how you played. And I think it's great that there are so many players from different countries, from Thailand and Korea, the European countries, American girls, and Australia. Minji's playing great, and Brooke. There's just endless names, and just endless names of girls that are playing consistently well. So I think it just shows what a global tour the LPGA is going to keep getting and is still growing to be. And it's a great place, I think, for the women's game, and with this obviously it makes it trickier for us to, win, but I think it's great step forward for the juniors that are taking up the game and, get girls all around the world to say, hey, I want to be the next Arya Jatanagarn, or I want to be the next Brooke Henderson or the Lexi Thompson. So I think it's a really cool place for women's golf. So it makes it harder for us, but, I think it's more fun that, there's, a great competition and just so much talent. So, you are definitely playing against the best female golfers in the world.
Any further questions for Lydia? All right, Lydia, best of luck this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Lunchtime.